Today's how to build is on Bouzer. If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy. I've received over 60 comments requesting for me to build Bouzer. Also, Bouzer is one of the most awesome video game characters of all time, so I felt obliged to build him. I built Bouzer to Bowser size. That basically is about double fig size relative to Mario, because Bowser is about this much taller than Mario in the games. But also, Bowser's height varies wildly from game to game. So in certain games, Bowser is gigantic, and this would be a more appropriate size for a minifig scale Bowser. That's another way of saying I'm not going to make a smaller version of Bowser, aka minifig scale, because what fun would that be? That would just be a small Bowser. K'NEX does have this Bowser figure that I got from one of their Mario Kart sets, but it's puny Bowser. Who wants that when you could have gigantic Bowser? As I've previously mentioned, my next how to build video after this one will be on Shadow the Hedgehog. Stay tuned for that sometime in August. Here's a look at all the green pieces you'll need for Bowser's shell. So some key pieces down here are these half octagonal plates in green. So we're going to combine two of those with a 1x6 plate in the middle. Then for the next level, some 2x2s and 2x3 plates to connect everything together nicely. And on the ends, we'll do some 1x2s, some 1x1s. For the next level, a 2x2 and a 2x3 down the center. Some jumper plates at the extreme edges. And then fill in this with some 1x2 plates. For the next level up, we'll take a 2x3 plate, and on top of that we'll do a 1x2 tile and 2 jumper plates. So now we've got the basic structure, and we're going to fill the rest out using cheese slopes. So this is a double wide green cheese slope. Then on the sides here we'll go down with some cheese slopes. So now we've got the basic structure for Bowser's shell. Here are the pieces you'll need for the next stage of Bowser's shell. You're going to want 10 of these red flower pieces. You can find these in the LEGO Minecraft sets as well as the LEGO Friends sets. 10 of these horn pieces. 2 half octagonal plates in white. 2 1x3s in white. 16 jumper plates in white, and 4 cheese slopes in white. So basically all of the open spots on top of his shell now we're going to fill in with a red flower piece. So Bowser happens to have exactly 10 horns on his back, and I decided in this build that I wanted to have each horn on his back, so that's how I determined my scale for Bowser, was by building a shell that was large enough to accommodate all 10 of his spikes. So after the flower piece, then you can stick a horn piece on top. So have those point out. Now for the next part of the shell, we're going to transition to the white, so we're going to use that half octagonal plate and stick it a little offset, like that on each side. Starting to look like Bowser's shell, right? Then here we're going to take some jumper plates, 3 on each side, and we're going to connect these the 1x3 plates so they're connected a little bit. Now on the top here, actually, well, let's put these white cheese slopes on the end to define the sort of upward curve of the white part of his shell, like so. On the bottom, we're going to fill in a whole bunch of jumper plates. So you just want to do 5 across the top and 5 across the bottom. Here are the pieces you'll need to build Bowser's underbelly. So let's start with these 2x6 plates and the 1x6 plate. Push them together. Then push some 1x2s in yellow. Notice everything is upside down. And we'll take a 1x2 plate in black with the clip on the end. And that'll all go together like so. Now to connect some of that together, we'll take this 2x3 brick, get there, and a 1x3 brick. Also build along the sides of those with some 1x3 bricks. We'll connect something there in a minute. In the back, we'll take a Technic brick and a 1x2 brick. Then we'll build a little sub-build here. Take two 1x2 plates, 1x1 plate with clip. If you hear snoring in the background, that's my pug Sophie sleeping away on the floor while I build. And a 1x1 plate there. So two 1x1 plates, 1x1 plate with clip, and a 1x1 plate. Stick that down there. Then do a 1x2 brick and a 1x2 Technic brick at the very bottom. Up here, we'll connect this side with a 1x2 Technic brick. Then we'll take a 2x3 plate to connect this whole thing together, and a Technic brick over here. Then we'll do another 2x3 plate. Here we're going to flip over for a second. I'm going to put a 1x2 black tile on the top. Next level we will do a 1x3 plate, and then we'll take some 1x1 white rounds and a black 1x1 plate and some black 1x1 tiles, like so. And we'll build all of that here. This is Bowser's collar. Then we'll connect all of it with another 1x2 plate with clip on the end in black. And then we'll fill in this space down here with some 1x2 plates. It's okay to leave that hole, we'll be covering it up. And just a 1x1 round white plate on the bottom. Now we've got a nice underbelly for Bowser. Here are the pieces you'll need to complete building Bowser's shell and underbelly. So first let's connect this upper shell to the first section of the underbelly we built. You'll notice these yellows connect really nicely to those jumper plates we added in earlier. Now we're going to flip this upside down. Starting down here, we'll build a jumper plate right here. Then we'll connect these two 1x3 plates. Build that across there. Now we'll build a little thing, so we'll start with a 1x4 plate. Build a jumper and a tile on top of that. And stick a 1x2 plate in the center on the bottom, and do the same thing second time. Can put those there. You could theoretically build this with some 2x4s, but I actually like it as 1x4s separate, because then it's the different sort of bands on his belly. Two more 1x3 plates covering up that hole, and a jumper plate in tan at the top. Now if you were to just stop building like this looks like a pretty good just like Bowser in his shell mode. The tan part of the underbelly is slightly off center here, so if you were going to do this as a main build, I would suggest moving these down and building a third one of these to fill in there, and that would look like a nice just Bowser shell. And you could remove the collar if you felt like it. But for those of us building all of Bowser, we'll keep it like so. Here are the pieces you'll need for Bowser's left leg. So start with a 1x3 plate and a 1x1 with clip plus a 1x2 with two clips. Connect those with some jumper plates and a 1x2 tile. Then you can clip in some horns for his toenails, claws, as it were, toe claws. Then take two 2x2 round plates in yellow, build that up. Next, going to go with a 1x1 brick with a stud on the side, two of those, one pointing forward, one pointing out that way. 1x1 tile, then a 1x1 plate of some kind, and a yellow cheese slope here. Then we'll do a Technic brick, top this off with some cheese slopes, Now we're going to take 2 of these wedge plates. I'm going to stick the first one on that way. The other one I'm going to stick on that way to cover up that hole. Also want to grab a black Technic pin, stick that in. This you can now connect to his body down at the bottom. First Bowser leg. Crash, crash, crash. Here are the pieces you need to build Bowser's right leg. Again, we'll start with a 1x3 plate, 1x1 plate with clip, and a 1x2 plate with 2 clips. Connect them with some jumper plates. And a 1x2 tile. Stick in some claws, horns, spikes. Then 2 2x2 round plates. Next level up, we're going to do a 1x1 tile on that side. 1x1 brick with 1 stud, forward and to the side. 1x1 plate or round plate. Cheese slope. Then a Technic brick, black Technic pin. Cheese slope, cheese slope. Then take 2 wedge plates. One going this way, and one like that. Now you can connect this to the other side. Now he's got 2 stompy legs to stomp things, because he's Bowser. Stomp, 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 stomp. Here are the pieces you need for Bowser's tail. So take a 2x2 round plate, or a square plate if you don't have a round one. Take some 1x2 plates with handles. 1x2 tile, jumper plate. Then a 1x1 round plate with a hole in it. And then add in a spike. And over here, one of these 1x1 tooth plates. I can only get them in bright light orange, not yellow, so this is one piece that doesn't quite match the rest of the color scheme, but it's not very noticeable. 1x1 plate with clip. Another 1x1 round with a hole in it. And stick the other spike inside that and clip that on there. And then you can attach that to the little clip hanging off the back of his shell. And the tail's got some posability to it. These are the pieces you'll need to build Bowser's arm. Bowser's arms are identical, so you'll want to do this build twice. Start with a 2x2 round black plate. Then do a round yellow cylinder brick on top of that. Top that off with some yellow cheese slopes, or a double wide cheese slope if you have one. Then you're going to fill in this spot here. This could be a 1x2 plate. I like the rounds just a little bit better texture wise. Then you're going to want a 1x2 to 2x2 bracket in yellow. Make that corner there. Next, you'll want some 2x2 round yellow plates. If you don't have those, you could also make his arm a little longer and just substitute in a cylinder brick there. Next, you're going to take some black jumper plates. And then you're going to take a 1x2 plate with handle like this, and a 1x2 plate like handle like that. Connect that. Then for the fingers, I found this piece really great for the finger. I don't know really what this is called. It's like a clip connected to like a bar holder. So you're going to want 4 of those. Connect one to each of the handle spots over there. The other one over here is going to be the thumb. You can position it right in the middle or slightly up, depending on where you want the thumb to be. This handle could also be the other type of handle. It doesn't have to be that. I just like it a little bit more flexible here. And then you're going to connect a spike into each finger slot. I love how spiky these hands are. They definitely make it feel like Bowser because he's got big spiky hands. Another way to do the hands for Bowser rather than these big spiky hands would be to use the arms from Martin from the Simpsons minifigures. If you put a bunch of those on, they kind of look like fingers with white spiky nubs on the end. They're a little more rounded than these spiky hands, but it's another way you can build them. And it's actually a little bit better to scale with Bouzer, but he just looks so much better with the spiky hands. So after you've built that, do it again. Then you'll have your two arms, and then you're going to want some blue Technic pin to axle connectors. Stick the axle half into the arm. And now you can connect the arms to Bowser's body, which is getting closer and closer to completion. Many minifigs bravely gave their arms so that Bowser could have hands. And then he didn't even use those hands. Poor minifigs. Here are the pieces you'll need to build the lower part of Bowser's head. So a 2x2 tile. This could also be a round tile if you want it to be a little rounder. 1x2 plate with handle, regular 1x2 plate. All of these pieces are in tan. And then some white 1x1 rounds for his teeth. Then you can connect this to the bottom handle coming off of Bowser's collar. Bend it down. Here are the pieces you'll need to start building Bowser's head. So down here we want a red 1x2 plate with a handle on the side and some 1x1 round plates. We'll connect two of those plates with a 1x2 tan plate. Then we'll use a tan corner plate to connect the other two to the red handle. And then we'll have a tan 1x1 round floating up here. You could do this whole section with a 2x3 plate and it would actually be much sturdier than my construction. But I like this look for Bowser's head better with this 1x1 round up in the front. But 2x3 plate would be more sturdy. 1x1 green plate in the back there. Then we'll connect that dangling plate with a jumper plate to that 1x2 plate over there. Connect that with a 1x2 plate. So now this is all actually one piece, which is nice. We'll do a 1x2 tile over there. Then a 1x3 green plate across the back there. Building forward from that, we'll do a 1x2 plate. 1x2 plate there. Then we'll use this 1x2 plate with a click hinge knob for Bowser's awesome nose. Rawr. Then here we'll do a 1x1 plate and do a 1x1 brick with stud on one side. The color doesn't really matter, it's going to be totally covered up. I did green because just in case a little bit of it shows. Still looks like him. Also going to take some tan headlight bricks or Erling bricks. Stick those right there. Really good start to Bowser's head. Now we'll work on the second part of Bowser's head. Take a green 1x1 plate and a green cheese slope. Connect that. Make 3 of those total. So 1, 2, 3. Over here, take a green 1x1 plate, a red 1x1 plate with clip going that way, a white horn, and a green cheese slope. Make 2 of those. Take a green flower plate and a red plume. Stick those together. And over here, red circle plate, white circle plate, and a 1x1 red plate with clip going that way, 2 of those. So now on the front here, what we're going to do, take one of these plate plus cheese slope. Then these will be his eyes and his giant red eyebrows. And this will fill out where his horn goes on each side of his head. That flower plus plume will be the start of his hair. And back here, we'll connect these other plate plus slopes to fill out the back of his head. And then we've just got one more section to do to complete his head. Here are the pieces you'll need to complete Bowser. So take a 2x2 green plate, build a jumper plate on top of that, and some of these red 1x1 plates with clips, and then 3 red flower pieces, flower plates, I guess I could call them. And then we're going to take 4 of these red plumes, Stick 2 into the flowers. And stick 2 into the clips. Bend them down like so. And then connect that onto the back of Bowser's head. Now we'll take the top of Bowser's head and connect it to his body. And Bowser is complete. Rawr! So his bottom jaw can move down for breathing fireballs and chomping things. And his head can move up for when he needs to do like a Bowser scream, like, "Rah, Mario, I hate you so much. Rah." He can even lift up higher if he needs to scream even more mournfully to the sky. Rah! Or bend down lower if he needs to. I did make a limit of how far he can bend down. He can't bend down further than this. I put that chi slope down in his leg to stop him from bending all the way down so that he does not just fall down on his face. But if you want to fall down on his face, you could remove that chi slope. His fingers can bend in. These type of fingers do kind of lock into certain positions because of how the clip interacts with the handle, whereas his little curvy fingers from minifig arms have a little bit more posability. But again, the spikes just look so much more awesome because he's Bowser and is all spiky. I will say the top head you have to be a little bit careful with moving because it looks really good, but it's not the most stable thing, so that might fall apart on you a couple times. Be careful with that. The back tail can move up and down, stretch out a little bit. Arms move up and down, all around. Yeah, he's a pretty awesome Lego figure. I'm extremely proud of Lego Bowser. This might be one of the greatest accomplishments of my life. Or however that goes. A quick note about colors. So I built Bowser using mostly yellow pieces and one bright light orange piece. Bright light orange is actually a better, more accurate color for Bowser, but it's a really hard color to work in Lego. There's not a lot of pieces in it. This is what Bowser looked like when I attempted to build him in bright light orange. This is also before I added the collar in and refined his neck, but you can see similar builds, except the hands were hard to do because there's no real handle pieces, and the arms are a lot chunkier. So you could try building him in bright light orange if you think that'll be a better, more accurate Bowser, but I ended up liking the yellow Bowser better, so yellow Bowser wins. Nom nom nom, Mario is delicious. Nom nom nom. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments telling me what you want to see me build in the future. If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy. Bowser!